In Movies and Money, after a run-up into Barbenheimer, shares of AMC are now under pressure as investors and traders sell the news. AMC reports the Barbie and Oppenheimer combo, along with the latest Mission Impossible and The Sound of Freedom, brought in the highest ticket sales ever in AMC's 103-year history. Our film critic Erik Childress is on the scene. Barbenheimer was out in full force for a second week, and you say there's some potentially big news to share about where Greta Gerwig's blockbuster film Barbie is headed, and also Oppenheimer bringing in big numbers.
Yes, Angie, and it's simply amazing the jolt of life these films have given the theaters. Christopher Nolan's 3-hour historical biopic is on a path over potentially $325 million, while Barbie is now the top film of the summer and has its eyes on two other current champions. Now, I have said multiple times that it was unlikely any film was going to challenge the Super Mario Bros. Movie as the top film of 2023. Well, scratch all that, because Barbie has it in its sights. With over $400 million in less than 2 weeks, Barbie is well ahead of the pace of the animated film, and as long as it continues to cruise through the rest of the summer and into the fall, it is going to surpass $600 million with ease. Now, speaking of cruise, as of last weekend, Barbie was $56 million ahead of where Top Gun Maverick was at the same point of its run, and with $93 million joined the list of the top 10 second weekends of all time.
Two new films open this weekend, Meg 2, The Trench, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Here's a look at that turtle time.
We have a very important mission for tonight. We must use stealth and cunning to infiltrate the human world and retrieve Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt. Okay, Batman.
Dude, what? I'm just trying to hype you guys up. Let's go!
Can the Turtles crawl to #1 with a new reboot?
Yes, Angie, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been rebooted again, back in animated form, and this time from writers and producers Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. And critics, at least, are saying that they have a winner on their hands. The film, which opened yesterday, is over 90% with critics, when no other theatrical incarnation, and there have been several, never got higher than the 41% of the first attempt back in 1990. Now, the film may still not get over Barbie or Oppenheimer this weekend, but it also doesn't need to in order to be a success, with a budget reportedly no higher than $80 million. Now, Warner Brothers' The Meg 2, The Trench, is also opening, and it's a sequel to The Meg, which grossed over $500 million worldwide back in 2018, opening in the same August spot. Now, that first film was not a success with critics, and this time the studio is not showing the sequel in advance to any of us, which is never a good sign for its quality, and this one is probably looking at a 4th place start this weekend.
Barbie and Oppenheimer are on your weekend stars list, but what else can you recommend for our viewers?
Well, for those who want to stay at home, check out the recently wrapped-up limited series Full Circle on Max. It is a 6-part series directed by Steven Soderbergh, with Claire Danes, Timothy Olyphant, Zazie Beetz, Dennis Quaid, and more, about a revenge kidnapping that goes sideways, and how the participants and their involvement on each side of it face the consequences congruent to the level of class and status. Also, I would urge everyone to look up the film Brother from director Clement Virgo that is available on VOD this Friday. It was one of our selections for this year's Chicago Critics Film Festival, and it's the emotional story of two brothers in the 1990s and how their community and family moved them to step up to be protectors of those that they love. It's a great film with a performance by Aaron Pierre that you will want to remember. Finally, speaking of remembrances, Criterion just released a new 4K edition of Carl Franklin's 1992 crime thriller, One False Move, the movie that Siskel and Ebert rescued from straight-to-video obscurity and launched the great Bill Paxton into the next phase of his career. You can also rent or purchase this on all the streaming services, or just buy this disc. It is one of the great films of the 1990s, and more people need to see it.
Siskel and Ebert, that's a wonderful blast from the past. Thank you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.